Let me clear my throat. Hey. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Don't know what to say to this. I don't know what to say to this, but I'm going to try. I'm going to try. Alright, let's bring this up on StreamYard. This is going to be a quick one. Alright? Gotta show this to you guys. What the heck did I do with my speaker?
Power on. Bluetooth pairing. Bluetooth connected.
I'm finna break out right now. Hold on. Where you gonna break it?
Oh boy. Here we go. I don't enjoy this. But this is about tonight. I don't enjoy it at all. I get no enjoyment out of this. Alright. What I'm about to say, a lot of you guys won't believe me. Living in America or living outside of America, still, a lot of you guys will not believe me what I'm about to say and show you right now. See, on the YouTube, you can see it, but here, it's going to be like vice versa. Alright, so let me go to StreamYard. Alright, welcome to the Marian Africa Show with your host, Stephen D. Lyles. Today, I was about to be absent, but I had to get into this real quick. Even if it was for 1 minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, I had to get into this. What I'm about to tell you, I want you guys, if you want to follow what it is that I'm saying, we have a thing on our phones now that's called Google. So if someone says something and you want to see if it's correct or true, you can punch it in on Google. Not that everything on Google is 100% correct, but you get an idea of what's going on. What am I talking about tonight? What is this even about? Normally, I tell you and I lead everything up to what the show is about. Being that this is so short, I'm just going to get right into it. Here in the United States of America, yes, the United States of America, you guys heard of Martin Luther King. There are many schools built after the name of Martin Luther King. Even here in Philadelphia, we have Martin Luther King. I actually, in my school days, once I was moved out of the neighborhood of South Philadelphia, I went to Bach Tech. After I did 3.5 years in Bach Tech, my grandmother, who I was being raised under, no father, no mother, so my grandmother, who I didn't really get along with, decided to move out of the projects into the Alany area. And there they had a school called Martin Luther King. At that time, Martin Luther King was seen as, I don't know if I could say it on here, but H-V, Haven. It was running rampant. I was enrolled in Martin Luther King in Philadelphia, in the Alany area, for about a few weeks. Then I went on, never showed up from one day. I knew the school, came to the school, but I never did class in the school. So because I didn't want to go, she pushed me on to Alany High School. This is what I'm getting at. There's so many schools that are named after the great Martin Luther King. Me, Malcolm X guy. But here or there, two prominent black men who stood up for the civil rights of black Americans. Those rights which led to the doors and the floodgates being open to not just immigration that we see today, but even Africans, Asians, Indians, you can name it. It all led to that. Let's get to the point of the story. There's a school in Memphis, Tennessee, that is in the United States of America. As of 2022, they released their records. The records show in a high school, not an elementary school, a high school, academically, the academics in Martin Luther King High School in Memphis, Tennessee, has an 8% proficient reading, 5% proficient math. Let me rewind that again so you guys can get what I'm saying. You don't believe me? Google it. Put in Martin Luther King academics records in Memphis, Tennessee, United States of America. You ain't even got to put that much into it. Test scores show that only 8%, this is a black American high school. 98% of black America. 98% of black Americans go to this high school. Out of that entire high school, out of several hundred kids, only 8% are able to read English or proficient at the English language. Only 5% are proficient at math. I want to say it over and over because it's astounding. So then I'm listening to my boy on YouTube. There's, I don't even know, Harika, GloRilla. If you guys heard of it, I hope you haven't. But these people have become famous for making videos, music videos, even touring in London. I want to give you a little listen to how it sounds without getting a YouTube strike. I'll let you listen to the beginning of the video. And you know what? Yeah, let me do that right here.
I'm F-I-E-E for nigga free. Baby, I ain't never run. I don't want nigga see ya.
Yes, that's how females sound today here in America. Our younger females, this is how they sound. Let me run it back.
I'm finna break out right now. Hold on. We gonna break out. I'm F-I-E-E for nigga free. Baby, I ain't never run. I don't want nigga see ya.
FNF, F-I-N free. F, need, you know the word. I'm not going to say it today. F, the N word, free. So, free of all black men to run rampant and cause chaos and do what they do. Makeup, pound of makeup, running around dressed as prostitutes. And these chicks are no older than 16, 17, 18, 19 years old. And this is what we're teaching down. Let me, before I play the video on YouTube, one more time.
Break out right now. Hold on. We gonna break out. I'm F-I-E-E for nigga free. Baby, I ain't never run. I don't want nigga see ya.
So, that's what we're dealing with. This is what we're dealing with. This is what we're dealing with. And you wonder why I talk the way that I talk.
I'm finna break out right now. Hold on. We gonna break out. I'm F-I-E-E for nigga free. Baby,
they got beer bottles. They got 40 bottles. Hennessy bottles. Black Americans in high school are reading are only 8%, according to this, are proficient at reading and 5% at math. And you wonder why I talk the way that I do. You see, when you love your people, you criticize. When you don't love, you allow no discipline. And I just wanted to bring this to your attention so you can understand why I talk the way that I talk at times. 8% can read. 5% can do math. 8% are able to read. 5% are able to do math. And yet, we get this that's promoted to us. You see, you got to understand something about the music industry. The music industry does this purposely. They do this purposely. Those who they know are going to denigrate the image of Black America, not just in America, but all around the world. They do this purposely in order to show Black Americans in a particular light, because they want people to not see them as human beings. That's why when the Constitution was drafted, Black Americans, even still today in the Constitution, it says that Black America is only 3/5 of a human being. And they continue to put out this propaganda about Black Americans, and this is what we are. You see, those who are true intellectuals do not get the limelight. They will never be allowed to be in the limelight, because it will show us for being what we truly desire to be. So they purposely make it so that you can't make money that way. The only way that you can make money if you get on our program, and our program is making sure that you denigrate yourself. Why do you think that the only music that you can hear from Black American rappers are music that is about committing homicides against each other, genocidal maniacs, calling each other BA niggas, BA hoes, denigrating the woman to the word B, talking about sleeping with another man's wife? It's prevalent. It's prevalent. Selling brag and boast about selling drugs to each other to destroy your community. That is the only music in America and outside of America by Black Americans. Because that is the only music that they will pay you to do. It goes deeper than that, but I'm not going to get into it all. You see, I decided something. I wasn't going to talk on a lot of things I don't talk about for particular reasons. Some reasons because I don't have all the information. I'm not one who just want to jump out there and run with the first news article only to have it wrong. And I say that to say this. Just what the war that's going on, not going to say the names of the countries, because that's how I got banned in the first place. You see, I'm not at that plateau where I can say everything that I want, free range, but that day, by the grace of God, will come. One thing I will say, I'm in particular going to do a special on this Saturday that I'm going to put a lot of effort into, a 3 to 4 hour stream, live stream, IG and YouTube, about the Kanye West mess that's going on. And I call it a mess for a particular reason. I'm not going to explain it here. But what I will say is that I want you guys to have an open mind to the entire breakdown that I'm going to do with the Kanye West and Paris Morgan interview, because there are a lot of gems in there to take out for our people, not just Black America, but Africans. We are a special and peculiar people. But like I had a discussion with someone today, everything is spiritual, no matter if you like it or not. All things are spiritual. There's a spirit behind any and everything that we do. If you can't fix the brokenness within inside of a people, then nothing but brokenness is going to come from outside of them people. Only brokenness is going to be so at the hands of these people. From Black America to Africa, that's where we're at. That's where we're at. A brokenness. But before I let you go, notice this. There's a tide. There's a tide that's arriving, that's changing. Because if you look at Africa, on a continent in Africa where we have 1.5 billion people, Africa has the youngest population in the entire world. United States of America, their population average age is about 38 years old, and Europe is about 48 years old. Africa has the youngest population on earth. The most people being born in the world are on the continent in Africa. And the majority is all particularly black states, but black countries. Like West, East, South, all of Africa. So just like China made a leap in their economics, and then right behind them came India with their economics, because at the time China was birthing so many people that they had to put laws on the books that people could no longer have more than one child. They're regretting it now. Then India, at a time, had the highest birth rate. Now, Africa has the highest birth rate. What do that mean? That means that a lot of production, a lot of warehousing, manufacturing is being pushed over in Africa. That's why you have Turkey. That's why you have countries like China, Russia, and so forth, so interested in getting and building connections and relationships with Africa deeper than they ever had. When I say that Africa is going to be the new world order, I really mean it. And there's a lot of evidence to show that all things are going to flow through Africa. But again, what we're dealing with right now, the debauchery, the lack of self-awareness, the lack of intelligence, it's very disappointing. And you have to get to a point in life where you have to say to yourself, not everybody is able to be saved. We can't save everyone. Just like God said, he said, he loved Israel, but he also destroyed Israel. But he said, even out of the destruction of Israel, I will keep a small remnant to myself in order that my glory will shine. And that's the same way with Black America. We have to get it into our heads that we can only take a small population with us and build on the continent and even Africa. Because not everybody that's Africa are Africans. You have some Africans who are just as bad as white supremacists. And this doesn't mean that y'all already know my record, so I'm not going to get into that. What I'm saying is that we're the only population of people who don't stick together. We're the only population of people on the face of the earth who don't build together. And then we wonder why we are what we are. I know I talk about relationships, this, that, and the other. But at the end of the day, you have to find the source of why we're so dysfunctional. Colonial, slavery, yes, we know all that. When do we get to a point that we become so accountable, not just for ourselves, but for everything that was done for us, because we're built to go through it? If we can't stand up and turn away from this debauchery and all these things that we're doing, we're going to be stuck in this forever. The opportunity that exists now is an opportunity that has not existed since before colonialism. Now the time is right to remove those who won't do for us and instill those who will. I'm going to leave with this one last thing. I had a video on YouTube. It's been up there for, I would say, about maybe 8-9 years. I've been monetized and demonetized, whatever, many times on YouTube. Video called Visa on Arrival. Now recently, after I just recently got monetized again, YouTube went in and deleted the video Visa on Arrival. It was cited for bullying. And I really couldn't comprehend because it just didn't click with me. So knowing the video, I did an appeal. And even then, the appeal was rejected. But I couldn't understand what was bullying about me going to Ghana, landing at customs, landing at the airport, handing over $150, talking to the agent behind the window on video, and being given a stamp on Visa arrival. And I said, guys, this is how it was done. End the video. Won't say no more about it. Along with that, Ghana is the only country in all of Africa out of 54 countries, the only country that is forcing mandatory COVID vaccines. Even though it's not prevalent there, they're the only ones who are forcing it. Even if you are a citizen of Ghana and you come from another area that doesn't force you at the airport to have a COVID vaccine card, on arrival at the airport, they force you to get a vaccine shot right then and there at the airport. Now I have mine. My wife has hers. Had to do it. Along with that, just less than 2 years ago, they had the year of return, which brought a lot of black people to do business with Ghana and move and relocate, become expats from the U.S. to Ghana. You have 3 things working. Now here's the 4th. Within a matter of months, the Ghana CD, which I've been living in Ghana since 2010. For all the past 11 years, the dollar versus the CD has been around fluctuate between 4 and 5 Ghana CDs. 4 or 5 Ghana CDs. I think the lowest might have been when I first moved to Ghana in 2010, like 390 something. So 4 CDs. $1 US, 4 CDs, 5 CDs. There was a time during the COVID, it shot up as much as 6 Ghana CDs. $1 US shot up as much as 6 Ghana CDs. Within a matter of weeks, 6 to 8 weeks, the US dollar have moved from $1 US to 13.65 Ghana CDs as of today. 14 Ghana CDs basically to $1 US. That's triple. Year of return, mandatory COVID vaccines, fluctuation in inflation. Even though the surrounding countries in Ghana are not facing the same, the Nigerian, for the first time I can remember, the Nigerian currency, the Naira, is more stable than the CD. Every day that I look at it, it's going up another CD or 50 pesos. I'm not going to draw conclusions here because I don't want to get banned again. But I want you guys to think about what's going on and what's behind that. You know your president just as much as I do, or even more. So take that, what I say, into consideration, because this is another point that I want to get across. Like I said, I can't say all that I want to say because I'm not at that plateau yet. May God bring me to that in order that I could tell and inform you guys of the way in which to walk and how to conquer all things. But take what I said. $1 tripled. The CD has tripled versus the dollar in just a matter of weeks. It's never been done before. Yes, we have inflation in the U.S., out of control. But triple? At the same time, mandatory COVID vaccines? Think about that. Think about that. And know that there is a force working that does not want us to succeed whatsoever. The minute we find a way, say, hey, I desire to move here. I desire to do great things outside of this country and be amongst my own people, those who look like me, they will shut it down. And they're doing their best right now to shut it down. New leadership. Those who in leadership, Alexis Julia Malema, and those who follow in the footstep of Mugabe, you know the deal. You know the deal. Like I said, man, this was off a little bit from what we normally do here, but I just feel that it needed to be said. And something needed to be said. And I'm sure you guys could read between the lines, because the people who watch here, you guys are not illiterate whatsoever. So I know you can read between the lines. Listen, man, when I tell you that I'm for you, more so than you know, it's just a work in progress for me to get to that point that I can help out the multitudes. So once again, appreciate you guys joining the show. Hope you guys have a good night. Sleep well. Make sure you put your best foot forward when it comes to your work ethic tomorrow. Treat everyone accordingly, because you never know when you're going to need to be treated the same way. Love you. Peace out. It's all one love with us. Love you. Good night.